Hey guys, Josh here, just checking to set up this episode. Welcome guys. I welcome all you all. Today is the 1st of June. We are coming from 6 months. Behind us now. We're going to 6 months ahead. Today, I just wanted to mention something that I forgot last time. I didn't mention it. The agenda for today, first of all, by being responsive, to what we missed last time. The idea was, do you know that it is possible, in ArchiCAD, with your occupancy schedule, to graphically, be aware of your occupancy, in a particular space or a particular room. Let's say, for instance, last time we were working on different rooms, right? Let's say, for instance, in our bedroom, 7, based on our calculations with ArchiCAD, we found out that now we have majorated with the 5 people maximum. And then, the representation of the 5, which, was maximized by ArchiCAD, and the 3, which is the requirement of the government, can be graphically displayed, or it can be graphically demonstrated with ArchiCAD. So I hope you knew about it, but enough talk, let me just demonstrate it. So let's say we are here in our ArchiCAD plan view. We are on our 2D plan. If I go to our schedule, the occupancy schedule that we left last time. Let's give a few seconds for it to open, because I'm having other windows open here, because they're kind of a lot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna scroll using the horizontal scroll bar here. I'm just gonna scroll on the right. As I found on the right, I came up to this the decision making column here in our inference. So it says that for the bedroom 7, you can see the 7 here, because this is the room number, this is the classification, so they're kind of related. So on the room bedroom 7 here, space, it says bedroom space. We have come up with the conclusion. ArchiCAD came up with the conclusion to say that you have this room can contain 5 people out of 3. It says that we have met the regulations. And then room 6, it says now we have 6 people, 6 people with the area of 2 square meters can fit this room 6. It says that now we have met the requirement. And for our bathroom, because it says only 1 person can fit in this square space. Therefore, the regulation says too, we haven't been able to meet the regulations. So what you do here to graphically represent your inferences in ArchiCAD, you will need to use the graphic override. So but it's what do I mean? I made that we can realize our inferences, our conclusion based on our zone occupancy schedule, to graphically mean that on 2D represent rooms that are valid, rooms that are abiding to the regulations, and rooms that are not abiding to the regulations. Instead of coming here on our occupancy schedule and scroll on the right, as we did, and see our conclusion, we can just view, or we can just see the conclusion, and be aware of spaces that are conformably adequate to the requirement that we set. So the thing is, what we do, let me go back to to the ground floor. This is our ground floor, as you can see here, and it has a specific graphic override applied to it, and you can see it says here all white appearance mode. But on the floor we are seeing this kind of beige thing, which is right, because the appearance is much more vivid, on the 3D view. So what you do here, if you want to see the graphical representation of your occupancy schedule on your floor plan, it's very simple. What you do, you have to create a graphical override based on your occupancy inferences. Based on that, says that it meets or it doesn't meet. Then that inference, which is mostly verbal, will be descriptively lay out as graphic on your floor plan. So how we're gonna do it is, the thing is very simple. You just go on, you click on this the corner button here closer to your graphic overall. Once you click on it, let me just drag the window that appears on my other screen, because I'm using 3 monitors. So what's gonna do here, you see here our graphical overall says all white appearance mode, meaning that the appearance of our building will be all white. I've done it already, but I'm just gonna share it with you, for you to be aware how to graphically display your occupancy, or let's say other elements, or let's say other resources that you've inserted on your project. You want them, instead of going on to the schedule, to be able to graphically on your floor plan display them, or let's say on 3D. So that's what it's gonna do. You can see here, I've already created it. I've already created a graphical override that says here occupancy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna demonstrate it first before coming here, with the further explanation. I'm just gonna click on cancel there. So let's go on the graphical override here. I'm just gonna click on graphical override, and I'm gonna choose occupancy here. It says here GOC occupancy. As soon as I click on it, check what's going to happen, what ArchiCAD is going to do. For the moment, you can see that there is nothing, though we have chosen the occupancy graphical override here, but there is no representation here. There's nothing to display. There is nothing that says that a change has occurred. So the thing is, the problem is because of our layer combination, because in this present moment, our layer combination is set to flooring core plan. But the thing is, to display our graphical override, we have to choose zone, because they are set on zone, not on this, not on any building element type. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look for zone. I'm gonna go to G here, which stands for general. Then I'll go to look for zone module unit core. As soon as I click on it, I change my graphical my layer combination. Things start changing. Now you can see that we have a different color. So if I say I don't want any graphical override, look at the appearance of our plan. This is, we have different zones here. We have the different zone, and they have specific colors. But when I change, when I apply my graphic override, which stands for occupancy here, you will see that now the color will change automatically. Some room will change, will have the appearance of green. Others will be red. The other will keep the same appearance. Why is that so? It's because these green ones, you see here, it says here bedroom 7 and bedroom 6 are green, living rooms are green, kitchen and dining area it's green. So if we go to our schedule, to find out why are they green, because greens means validation, right? Greens means meeting. Red means doesn't meet. That's the meaning of it. So we're gonna go to our schedule and see. Let's give it a few seconds there for it to load up. Based on the recent operation that I did. Room 7 here, it says meets regulation. That's why it's green. Room 6, you say that it says meet regulation. That's why it's green. But the bathroom space, it says doesn't meet the regulation. If you go over, you see that the bathroom is red. Living room here space, it says meet regulation. That's why the living room is green, the dining room is green, the kitchen space is green. That's why these are green, because they meet the regulation. Or our bathroom is red because it doesn't meet the regulation. If we go back on our ground floor here, it's the same thing that applies. And you see that you even see our linen is red, because if you go back to our schedule, you see that the linen, the small space, of referring to our ArchiCAD, classification, because I call it small storage space. It says doesn't meet. If I scroll on the left, you see that it's the linen. That's doesn't meet. You see that the linen here doesn't meet. That's why, because the linen doesn't meet, automatically, the display of it, because it doesn't meet, it is red. And for this one, for the lobby and this corridor, they kept the same color, because I haven't used them on my schedule. There's no occupancy here. There's no permanent occupancy. The occupancy that could be on the corridor, they are temporary, but here we're talking about permanent occupancy. Same thing on the lobby. When somebody's getting in the house, it's not going to stand here, right? You'll be walking around, not going in different rooms. It's the same thing. That's why I didn't take them into consideration, because the occupancy in these spaces are not permanent. They are, temporary. The same thing for the linen. Somebody can be there and stand or do something. It's not really completely permanent. Not, let's say, mid permanent, or highly set for temporarily, there. Yeah, that's it. So this is how you can do it. So now let's open my graphical override. My occupancy graphical override. Then I will show you what I did here. So what I did, I came up with these, orders, these rules. As I said, my first rule, I needed to be an occupant zone 1 and occupant zone 2. So there are two. The occupant zone 1, will be, my zone will be shaded green if my room obey my regulation, and it will be shaded. It will be color red if that room or that zone doesn't obey the regulations. So if I click on these 3 points here that says now edit rule, if I click on it, we're gonna see which type of rule I've set for this one. I'll click on it. Let me just drag it because it's appeared on the other screen. It's gonna bring it here. Let me just create a little bit of space here, but I can't because they are linked to each other. They depend on each other, appearance. You can see here, I'm having it here. This is zone occupants. Occupant zone 1. In this, I'll come out with the character says that my element type is a zone, and make sure that the other criteria is does occupancy meet regulations, and if this criteria and link to my zone says that or contains only the word meet, please color it. Color of the floor. It says here color the fill foreground pen and the fill background pen, color both of them into green, and make the fill type to be 50%. This is the rule that I've signed to my occupants zone 1. So the name, this name, occupant zone 1, has this rule attached to it for our background, our zone on the background, on the floor plan to be color green. So this is how I set up, my rule. I can even go forward, make it as a surface. I can even go forward, make it, say, keep it as a surface, and at the same way, I make that color green, and I'm gonna choose a specific green here. Let's say, let me just choose plastic green. No, okay. Let's say glossy green light. No, it's not gonna help. When I need a little bit for a darker green, something like that, I'm gonna choose. Let's see this. No, that doesn't help. I'm gonna choose this one. So meaning that if I go on my 3D, I'll be seeing my room. Most of the validating room, they'll be having a green, this RAL 6024 appearance. So this is how you can do it. So if I click OK here, you can see here on on the texture, the texture appearance, you see that there's now a color. The same thing here. If I click on the occupant zone 2 and I click on these 3 little button, the big button which incorporates this 3 little button, the window that will appear will come up, with certain specific rules in it. In this time, I said, my criteria is an element type, and it is a zone. And make sure that each and every time, my zone has this criteria, which is, does occupancy meet regulations? And if this criteria contains the word does, mean that does not, because I didn't want to write everything, because remember, we have two of them, meets regulations and does not meet regulations. So I just need the word does out of the whole sentence. So each and every time my room contains the word does, make sure that you color the field foreground pen red and the field background pen red, and the field type, let it be 25. In this case, you see that our 3D surface, has nothing. If I click on 3D surface and I want to assign a surface to it, let's look for the red one. Let's go with this red 22. Once I click, once I assign this red into it and you click OK, we see that on the surface, on the surface texture here, we have a color assigned to our graphic override. If I click OK now, on 2D there want to be a lot of change, things will remain the same. But if I go on my 3D and I change my layer combination to zone, this zone module unit code, you will see that whatever change that I've made in my graphical override on my occupancy, a graphical override layer will be applied on my 3D. So this is how you can do it. This is how you can using or taking advantage of your graphical override, assign a graphic appearance to your room, or let's say to a specific space. That's how you can do it. So okay, the thing is, let's check it out on 3D. I'm just gonna go on my 3D here. Don't worry about what you see here. I'm just designing a still shade here, for my swimming pool. I'm not yet done, but I'm still working on it, because I'm working on different projects right now. So I'm doing slowly and surely on each. So you can see here we are having something like this. This is the flooring plan. So the other thing is, if you can see here on our 3D, our graphical override, it's off. So if I change my layer combination to zone core here, zone module unit core, if I click on it, let's see the appearance. You can see here the appearance has changed, right? We are having the same appearance as it was now on our ground floor. If I go to the ground floor here, and I said to myself, no, let cancel the override. By saying, by clicking on no override here, you will see that the appearance will change. Our graphic, we're gonna have this appearance, and the appearance is gonna change. And if we go back on our 3D here, we almost having the same thing here. As this different appearance on 3D, on these two rooms here. But you can see that we are almost having the same appearance as it is on the ground floor. Then soon as I go back and activate the occupancy graphical override, this one, I click on it, you see that the colors of these rooms, they're going to change. Some will be green, as you see here, others will become red. Those who are meeting the regulations, they are green, you can see here, and those who are not meeting the regulations, they will be red. So this is it, as you can see here. So this is how you can use your graphical override to allow the 3D or 2D display of a particular properties that you have signed on your zone, or let's say your zone room. Yeah, I wanted to share this with you, and I hope you knew about this. So if you didn't know, now you know. So go ahead and make it work for you. So we're gonna put a pin on this for today, and I'm gonna see you again in the upcoming episode, where I will be sharing more of ArchiCAD content, and as well from other software based on project that I'm currently working on. Stay tuned for the next ArchiCAD exploration tutorial. See you very soon. Cheers, guys.